Hello, greetings and welcome back to Daily Driver with myself, Bass Driver, here at Paine's Games, where if you enjoy the content, then I invite you to leave a like and comment, share this with your friends, and most importantly, hit that subscribe button and the bell icon to ensure you get notifications of my latest content. So you may have heard of this axiom about life imitating art or vice versa, and in this instance when I see this image I am reminded in some tangential manner of the recent WB/DC Comics themed live service game from Rocksteady, currently leaving PS Plus Essential for that unceremonious walk into the Badlands a la Judge Dredd. For what I see in this image is a reflection of one Dr. Harleen Frances Quinzel midway through their transformation into their well-known alter ego Harley Quinn. Similarly, when Quinn's act spread across Gotham, then the signal goes out across the city's skyline, calling out for an Avenger of Justice. In this case, however, we see that a White Knight rises, in the form of David Jaffe. Now, I would like to clarify something right out the gate here, which is I do think that there's a couple of important points to be made around this particular situation before, in my judgment, we should all probably leave this subject alone, at least until the court case sees itself through, and I'll explain why a little later. Suffice to say, I know my introduction may seem a little glib, but like I say, there's actually a more serious reasoning behind my preamble. Anyway, here's the David Jaffe, who over this past weekend decided to kick February off with a video defending Alyssa Mercante's comments on his interview last week, while also having another little pop at Smash JT and Vara Dark. I'm going to play it back and pause for a few comments as we go.
I just want to make it clear just how disingenuous a lot of these people are. You don't have to like me, you don't have to like Alyssa, you don't have to agree with anything we say, but it'd be nice, at least if some of you guys who don't know you're being lied to, or at least being informed by people who are not informed themselves, it would be nice to share that data with you and do with that what you want.
She went on a live stream with...
Okay, so right off the starting line, David's implying that those reporting on the developments, shall we say, are being disingenuous. Now, when I live streamed my watch-along of the Jaffe Mercante interview, I had a bingo card to check off what I expected to see or hear, including instances of being disingenuous or duplicitous. Reason being that anyone who has followed either David or Alyssa will know from listening to them that they themselves have made obviously disingenuous statements on such a regular basis that this has become their known form, or MO. So bear that in mind for just a few moments as we continue.
None other than David Jaffe. She went on a rant, she went on rambles, and well, she has made herself look extremely bad, and she accidentally destroyed her own lawsuit. So this is a Smash JT article.
The last couple of days since Alyssa came on my show, I've seen a number of this sort of thing on the internet. Alyssa Mercante destroyed her lawsuit. She accidentally destroyed her lawsuit, caught in a huge lie. Mercante quits X, destroys lawsuit versus the Smash, what's his name, Jet, whatever, the Smash guy. I'm not a lawyer, so take it with a grain of salt.
This Smash JT guy. Literally seconds past accusing Vara and Smash of being disingenuous, David immediately pretends to not be aware of Smash, and he'll do this with Vara too. You see, David does this on his streams all the time. He has a subject he wishes to tackle and uses the tactic of feigning ignorance of the actors or actions surrounding the subject matter in an attempt to win your favour, luring you to believe he's actually quite naive and simply stumbling into a minefield with boomer clown shoes on. It's an attempt to endear you to the idea of poor old Papa Jaffa Cakes, he's out of his element, before presenting what he knows is a strawman argument or establishing a false dichotomy. Let's continue.
But I think I have read the lawsuit. Here it is right here. If you're curious, what a lot of people are pointing to. Well, there's two things they're pointing to, saying, "See, you caught yourself in a lie." Blah blah blah. It's a defamation suit that she's filed against the Smash guy. What she is saying is that he defamed her, said things like she was a prostitute, she took money for sex, blah blah blah. That's kind of the main crux of it. There's a whole backlog in this, which is really interesting reading about what the Smash guy was doing before he kind of became this sort of internet personality and what she's done, blah blah. Do with that what you want. It's interesting. I haven't read a lot of lawsuits, but I've read enough to know that this one is written in a way that's like, oh, it's pretty clear to understand what's going on here. It's on page 22, section C, paragraph 92. That's the guy's name, Smash JT. Oh, I see. Smash JT, right? It's Jeff Tarzia. Crosses the line. And this is, I guess.
I see. Jeff Tarzia. Well, if he wasn't already technically doxxed by the widespread dissemination of this lawsuit at this point, I would say that Jaffe has opened up Jeff to another segment of the internet who were previously unaware of Jeff's full name. But here lies another aspect of that really, frankly, grinds my gears somewhat. As here David has also been somewhat summarily dismissive of Jeff's previous work history. Now, as far as I'm aware, and honestly I'm not terminally online like David, I have a family and work to do, you know. But as far as I know, Jeff has formerly worked in testing and customer support, and I think, I could be wrong, but he may have worked with both Sony Online Entertainment and Daybreak Game Company. So this grinds my gears because if true, then Jeff, like many of us, has at least at one point grinded as a grunt in QA for some of the worst pay, longest hours, and in the least respected role in the games market. A role that has been essential to facilitating people like David Jaffe to be terminally online, smoking his hobbit baccy and punching down at us little people from his ivory tower while sleeping on a bed of money. Let's continue.
Yes, where it becomes what Alyssa and her attorney are claiming are defamation. On the 30th of March, 2024, Tarzia posted horrification. What's that? Like what Alyssa Mercante does, sucking dicks in her off time for money. Then on April 1st, he said Alyssa has since come forward stating she used to be a sex worker sucking for money before working at Kotaku. On the same day, he repeated the claims on his website, then he repeated them again on a channel at the 1st and 3rd of May of that same year. Such conduct, says the lawsuit, constitutes the crime of prostitution under New York penal law. He's defaming her, says the lawsuit, because he's claiming she's a prostitute. And when she came on my show, she said this.
Like what I did, because I did briefly do cam work, just like digitally stripping. Not even really.
Cam girl stuff.
Mm-hmm. Years and years ago when I first graduated from postgrad. I probably did it not very long. It kind of gave me the ick.
Right.
And I've openly spoken about it, but it was getting twisted, and it still is twisted to where people believe not only that I was a prostitute, which is very different, but that I have performed sexual acts to get my job or to get money, and none of that is true. So that is damaging.
Now, if you look up the definition of prostitution, barring very specific edge cases, which, and I don't mean like that, you filthy person, very specific edge cases of which this is not, prostitution requires physical contact. So our bartering, services, goods, money for sex, that falls into the definition of prostitution. Yes, that is illegal in most parts of America, including New York. Being a cam girl, which is what she was, is not prostitution. Okay, so that's, you know, and he says it, you know, a lot, apparently, according to the lawsuit. He literally writes on his post, on his channel, stating that she used to be a sex worker, sucking dick for money before working at Kotaku. Okay, so if you agree with the legal definition, and if not, take that up with your congressman or your lawyer, we can agree that this statement,
because I did briefly do cam work, just like digitally stripping,
is not her blowing up her lawsuit. You may think being a cam girl is shameful, of which I would say I think you're an idiot, but that aside, you have a right to think what you want about other people's choices, but what you don't have a right to do at least.
Okay, well, as much as he may be correct on that particular definition, what naive old Papa Jaffe Cakes is either unaware of or omitting is the litany of social media interactions that Jeff and his lawyer have no doubt been archiving, including one wherein Alyssa specifically states that she would return to, well, that sort of work, if you get my meaning, because at least you get paid for getting, well, you can probably imagine the rest. Social media posts, it should be noted, that Alyssa would appear to have been deleting over the past few weeks. Let's continue.
At least in America, is say just because you don't agree with it morally, it is equivalent to a law being broken. The other thing is the sucking dick part. Now, this is the tweet that is referenced, I believe, in the lawsuit. Obviously, now maybe he's got another tweet, but this is the tweet that she mentioned on the show, and this is the tweet here. So, has she said she sucked to get the job at Kotaku? She did say that. Did she make it clear, both here on my show, and also just anybody with a freaking brain would know she was being sarcastic and she was joking?
But I saw a tweet you made saying that when somebody asked you, you're smiling right now because you know what's coming. Somebody asked you, how did you get into this industry? You said you suck. Is that true? And if not, then, I mean, if it is, then why are the people who are accusing you of that wrong?
Is it true she made the tweet, or is it true she did that?
Is it true she made the tweet? And if it's true that she made that tweet, which I know it's true because I've seen it, then aren't they justified in saying that you made it to the top by sucking people?
My guess is it was clearly a joke if you made the tweet.
That's a good
Maybe
guess.
not. She's very sex positive. So, listen, did you say that? Did you tweet that out?
That tweet that you've seen, I think hyperbole is a lost art.
The JT guy would have to somehow prove that most people would look at this and assume that this is a serious answer to a question of how you got your job at Kotaku.
Hyperbole is a lost art. This is an incredibly defensive statement, well crafted actually in a sense, because whilst it does disregard the wealth of surrounding context that would provide a solid argument to that statement, for anyone less aware of the details, it would come across like she's just been joking all along. Problem is, when presented correctly by Jeff's lawyers, this actually has the potential to come across really rather badly and may even insult the court's intelligence. Additionally, if you're going to pick up on what I've said on previous videos, irrespective of anything else, if you are in HR or marketing anywhere, and I mean at any company, and this tweet surfaced, What would your reaction be? Mine would be to get the hiring manager who brought Alyssa on board and Alyssa herself in the office for an explanation and summary firing. I can't really think of how many HR violations such a thing, if it were true, would raise, much less the damage it would cause to the company's reputation to have the world know that this is how one gets a job there. Kotaku themselves could have a case against her, if they weren't entirely on her side, that is. Let's continue.
Bringing up a tweet that's already been out in the public that clearly was a joke, whether you think it was or not. Her talking about the tweet that everybody has access to didn't blow up her lawsuit because it was already in the public discourse. And her saying that she had been a cam girl does nothing to blow up the lawsuit. So when Alyssa came to me and we were talking about coming on the show, I mean, I went to her and said, we come on the show, but she came to me and said, yeah, but I'm going to do it, but I can't talk about the lawsuit. It's not like she entered into this like a moron. She's a very smart lady. She's like, yeah, of course, here are the things I can't. Don't ask me about Jeff, which I didn't. Don't ask me about the lawsuit, which I didn't. People called in and I made it clear she can't really get into that. And whatever she did want to talk about was she brought up.
I think hyperbole is a lost art. And I think jokes are often misunderstood online, but I also can't speak about it that much for a lot of reasons.
You want us to give you a credit to look up hyperbole?
I know what hyperbole means, and it's fair enough. I'm just saying. So people call me up because not everything is understood through text. People saying you suck your way to the top. It's not them lying. It sounds true. You wrote it, and if you're saying it's a joke, you could have clarified that.
There is a very valid reason why I can't clarify that, and I can't speak to it anymore. But hopefully, in due time, people will learn that.
She's not a moron. Okay, so if you're trolling, I get it. Haha. Well, you got to win for your little buddy who you think really likes you, and you're in a weird parasocial relationship with because your own parents and your brother and your friends really secretly hate you. I get it. But if you actually think you've got this understanding you're being told the truth by these people, I would advise you to go on this weekend, choose lawsuit for yourself, and then ask yourself, are they dealing with you in good faith, or are they simply there trying to make you give them money or motivate you to give them money so you feel like you are not alone and you are being heard? And again, don't come to my channel, don't come to Alyssa's channel, you don't have to watch my, I mean, I'd love you to, but I'm not your alternative. I'm not like, hey, okay, Jaffe says don't go there, come here. No, go find someone, find the...
Once again, David dissents from any form of legitimate debate to throw frankly offensive accusations towards Jeff and Vara about their personal lives and history, entirely unsubstantiated from what I have seen, and I do follow them both and watch their videos frequently. And once again, there it is, the money. It's all about the money. Don't give them your money, they're being disingenuous. No, give me your money, or Alyssa, or any of the establishment media. It's always fundamentally about the money.
The most shit that I find offensive in the world, but at least make sure they're being honest with you. That's the main thing. Because come on, man, y'all gotta be smarter. Because if you fall for these fucking morons, you're gonna fall for. There are a lot smarter people out there trying to fucking bamboozle you, man. Be careful.
You're going to fall for much smarter people. Yep, smart people like Alyssa who have attained their position through who knows what means, but by her own story we're being led to believe that she didn't attain it through meritocratic means, at least not in the classical sense. Smart people like David Jaffe who, as far as I can see, has no current consistent means of income other than perhaps residuals and wise investments, perhaps some consulting here and there. Smart people like David and Alyssa who have the funds and function to sit around smoking their Hobbit baccy all day, putting the world to rights one TikTok or YouTube video at a time. Well, look, it's all fun and games until it's not, and I'm here to say I really worry that it might not be actually. For again, look at this image, and look at how Alyssa presented herself on David Jaffe's interview. Just think about that for a second. I mean, she said herself during the interview that she was in therapy and that her therapist had her on a timer for social media access. I would wager that both her therapist and her lawyer suggested she close her X account, which I believe is from whence this very image originates. The thing is, I get a feeling, and this is purely a supposition, but I just wonder if their angle when getting to court shall be one of diminished agency due to her diminished mental state, a state which I also wonder whether her lawyer shall attempt to justify as having been caused by these social media interactions in some hope of prompting a further clampdown on social media and free speech across content creators and web platforms. Now if so, it's a bold play. Let's see if it works out for them. But let me finish by saying that it would be genuinely appearing as though Alyssa is not in the best of health, and that's no laughing matter. The court case is inbound, okay? I really don't think Alyssa has the best of cases against Jeff, and Jeff, you have more than enough in the case log now. Let it go to the courts. Rest the stories on it for a while. Come back to it once the case is done. Just don't fan flames next to a gas pipe, if you see what I mean. And I honestly hope Alyssa is getting credible help too. I don't wish bad for anyone. Thanks so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this content, and if you did, please do leave a like and comment. If not, leave a dislike. Feel free to share on social media, and most of all, please hit that subscribe button and notification bell to be informed of my next video. This has been Bass Driver from Paine's Games. Thanks again for listening. Take care out there, and I'll catch you in the next one.